Question number 8. Among a large group of patients recovering from shoulder injuries, it is found that 22% visit both a physical therapist and a chiropractor, whereas 12% visit neither of these. The probability that a patient visits a chiropractor exceeds by 0.14 the probability that a patient visits a physical therapist. Calculate the probability that a randomly chosen member of this group visits a physical therapist. So as you already may know, my favorite way of doing these kinds of problems is with a classic Venn diagram. So I'm going to call this physical therapist, and this is chiropractor. Okay. We're already told that 12% visit neither of these, so we can start filling in the regions rather easily. That was this here. And we're also told that 22% visit both a physical therapist and a chiropractor. So this is the region here that visits both. So that is 22%. And this region, we don't know. I'll call it X. And this region here is Y. Now the whole space has to add up to 1. So right away, we know that the X plus the Y is going to be equal to 1. Take away uh, these two regions here. 0.12 plus 0.22. Well, before we move any further, I just want to explain when I mark off these regions as X and Y, these are non-overlapping regions. So, for example, X is going to be the probability of seeing a physical therapist intersect, which means and uh, C complement. So that prime there just means complement, which means not in C. So if you want to be in both of these regions, you have to see a physical therapist, which includes the X and the 0.22, but you also have to not see a chiropractor, which takes out the 0.22. So it's just the X. So continuing with the solution here, X plus Y is going to give us 0.66. And this final piece of information here, the probability that a patient visits a chiropractor, well, chiropractor is going to be this whole region here, Y plus 0.22 exceeds by 14 the probability that a patient visits a physical therapist. So if it exceeds by 14, that means seeing a physical therapist is this whole region. So that's X plus 0.22. And we're given that that equals 0.14. The 0.22 and the 0.22 are going to cancel out. And we'll just be left with Y uh, equals X plus 0.14. Uh, Now we can plug in here X plus Y is just this. So X plus X plus 0.14 equals 0.66. and then that'll give us 2x equals 0.66 minus 0.14, which is going to give us 0.52. So the x is going to be equal to 0.26. Now, one thing I want to mention is here you see a 0.26. One of the things that you may notice about these exams is often in the answer choices we're given, there's a lot of questions that give us answers that look like they may be correct, but it's actually a bit of a trap answer and it's not correct. In this case, we want to know the probability that a randomly chosen member of the group visits a physical therapist. Well, remember these, as I said, these are non-overlapping regions, the x and the 0.22. So if we want everybody who visits a physical therapist, the answer is not going to be the 0.26. This region here is 0.26. But we also need to account for those that visit a chiropractor as well, which is this 0.22. So the answer is actually going to be x plus 0.22. And x is 0.26. So 0.26 plus 0.22 is 0.48. So this is the answer. If we take a look at what they give in the solutions, they're going with, as I said, a different approach that doesn't involve Venn diagrams. But if you look at this equation here, you don't have to memorize that. For this solution here, you need to know it, but there's no need to memorize it if you just go with a Venn diagram and this setup here. So if you're more comfortable with the solution that the SOA gives, by all means go for it. But in my opinion, a Venn diagram solution is usually going to be easier.